it's your man, Coach Rich, Coach Babs. Welcome to the Think Strong, Be Strong channel. If it's your first time, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And also hit the notifications bell so you know when another video is dropping or when it has dropped. If you're an avid listener, welcome back. Yeah, you're probably shocked. What, 2 videos in the space of how long? I know, right? But I guess when you've got blockage and then you talk to somebody and they help unblock things without them realizing they're doing it for you, everything just starts to flow. But we'll touch on that briefly in a moment. So without further ado, yo, let's get cracking, shall we? Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back. Appreciate it. We're back again, trying to keep things as consistent as possible. So today's been an interesting day, but I feel like the divine feminine within me has been trying to make herself known in my life right now. She really wants me to see her. She really wants me to feel her. She really wants me to embrace her. And me being me, stubborn, I guess I didn't realize that this internal feeling was trying to make her way out, which is not a bad thing, but that's not why we're here. So I was talking to one of my friends earlier on today, and we were just she sends memes every now and then that she finds funny, and it's a laugh. But then we were talking, and then I think the conversation came across the lines of dating, and she was just talking about how she can't be asked with men at the moment. And I laughed and I said, why, what's up? Do you know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I can't be asked with men and dating because of this whole lockdown stuff. And I was like, I get it, the government is really trying its best to make us do as we're told and abide by their rules until they decide otherwise. And unfortunately, that puts a stop on a lot of, it makes people feel like it puts a stop on a lot of things in their life. If you work for yourself and it requires interacting with people physically, it puts a stop on that. The fear of going to see family, especially elder family, it's putting fears in people's minds. And it breeds, I'm sorry to say, and if you object, your views are valid, you can put it in the comments below. But it breeds a form of antisocial behavior, because what happens when you can't interact with people? You become antisocial. Maybe some of us may become socially awkward. But let me not go that far in. But anyway, around the topic of dating, I was like, and it's like, this online shit and that. And I was just like, look, man, it's a difficult one, yeah. And people are going to have their opinions. And some of you are going to object. Some of you may not. My parents are watching this probably, and they're going to probably object. Or they may not. I'm not here for validation. I'm not here for you to say high five. I totally agree with you. And I'm not also here for you to tell me that I'm a menace to society because my opinions and my views are not aligned with yours. This is not that kind of video. I said to her, look, what are you prepared to do towards the things that you say you want? If you say you want to meet somebody and you want to vibe and build a connection, what are you prepared to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you gonna make an effort? Are you gonna talk? Are you gonna connect? Are you gonna communicate? Are you gonna take a social distancing walk? with this person because you can take a social distancing walk. You're not infecting nobody, especially if you live alone. You know, if you want me to agree with this whole infection thing, if you live alone, like I live alone, who are you infecting? Especially if you don't go out as much. I don't go out as much. I've worked today. When I finished work, I took my dog and we went on a walk. And then we came back. I didn't bump into nobody. I didn't say hi to nobody. A lot of people that I know happen to live alone as well. So even if I go on a social distancing walk or a mental health walk with friends of mine, we're at a distance. Sure, we may be in a car and it's not 2 meters because I'm not sitting in the back seat. You understand? But you're not interacting heavily with the peoples that the government are telling you don't do it because whatever. So what are you, how bothered are you about wanting to meet somebody while we're in this situation? Because the black and white of it is this, right? This situation could last as long as they want it to last. It's that simple. It can last as long as they want it to last. Because if you don't have a definitive end date, or you don't have a definitive answer or a definitive plan of what's happening next, that means it's one of those rolling contract situations. So it can go on as long as it wants to, as long as they think it's necessary to go on. They could end it for Christmas and then they could start it in the new year till March or April. They can do what they like. So then my question was to my friend, what are you prepared to do? Or how bothered are you about what you're talking about? How bothered are you about meeting somebody? How bothered are you about creating and maintaining a bond and a connection? How bothered are you about making lemons with lemonade? You can do such, but there are other things you can do. How bothered are both parties to make it happen? A walk, I keep saying this thing, but taking a walk with somebody who you want to get to know is amazing. I mean, there's no loud music. There's no intoxication where you're drinking. There's no awkward food situation where I hope he's not worried about how I look when I'm eating, if that's the kind of person you are. There is just you and that person and road or terrain where you can talk and vibe. Shoot, if the weather weren't so crap, you could have a picnic outside. You could sit on a park bench or one of those, those picnic table things where you're opposite each other and you could have a conversation and eat. You could go out for lunch. Like I said, if the weather was, accommodating to both of you. You fine. If you gotta travel. You travel to work. Travel. The thing is, you gotta do what you can to make it happen, or you do nothing and just hope that time will make itself available for you. But we've had this conversation about time before. Time exists regardless. It doesn't make time for you. Time just exists. It's you that takes an element of time to make it work for you. But then on the flip side, there is no harm in just talking to somebody electronically until whenever, and then just hoping and praying that in that period, the connection you guys have built doesn't fade, and hoping that you keep each other entertained and you give each other that time, and you both of you feel like he or she's feeling me, or she's feeling me, or he or he's feeling me, like they're feeling me, like it feels like it's a pen pal situation or whatever. But you know what? I have no doubt in my mind that if I pick up the phone to give him or her a call, she's gonna answer the phone and she'll talk. Yeah, it's probably not him or her's thing, but lockdown ain't nobody's thing. So we all have to adapt, improvise, and survive. Do you know what I mean? So if you guys are okay doing that, then do it. Do you know what I mean? And then hopefully when the doors open back up again, y'all as hungry to see and meet each other and connect with each other physically as you've been saying you were. But if it's just lip service and they're just saying nice things but they ain't giving nothing or they ain't sharing much, they're just kind words, man. And after a while, I'm the kind of person, if I know you just talking and I feel like I'm doing the most, or if you feel like you're doing the most and they ain't reciprocating on that level, or they ain't acting like, or it just feels like generic kind responses, then that's all they are, kind words. And, if I start saying to somebody, I appreciate your kind words, just know I'm being polite. And after a while, it stopped resonating with me because there's only so much kind words can get you if there's certain actions that ain't being met, especially if you have specific love languages, or you have specific core values, or you have a specific, like, you know, I'm giving you this, like, meet me here, meet me at this point, or at least try and meet me at this point, or show me how to meet you at your point. Like, if that ain't happening, then it's just kind words. It's just nice to hear. And you know, it's not impossible to meet somebody or try and build a romantic connection in this time. Because like I've mentioned before, this time could go on for a very long time or it could be over real quick. But you don't know. You genuinely don't know. So you can't plan for something you don't know is going to happen. But you can put in work for things that you do want to happen and just use what you have to make it happen. You know, that's pretty much life sometimes. Life sometimes is like, you know, everything don't fall in line the way you want it. And sometimes you may meet the man, the woman of your dreams at a very, very difficult situation or tough time. And, you know, what the first thing we say is, man, if only. Do you know what I mean? And it's a case of moving from man, if only, to, okay, cool. All right, why not now? All right, let's make it happen. Let me see where he or she's at. Let me show them where I'm at. And let's come together and make it work. Let's come together and make a decision together about how we're going to try and make this happen with the limited resources that we have. So that when all the resources become available, everything else is just, do you know what I mean? Just easy or easier. But then, you know, it, like I mentioned, like I was saying to my friend, you know, it all comes down to this. How bothered are you about what you say you want? And I always use the word now, what you say you want, rather than what you want. Because a lot of people say a lot of things that they want. But then when it comes down to doing shit, they may not do it. Yo, I'm one of those people sometimes. I say a lot, I want a lot of things. And then after time, I don't put in that much effort. Shit. When I first started this YouTube video, I put in all the effort. And then afterwards, I stopped with the channel and I just didn't put in as much effort. And then it went from, I really want to make a difference, to, you know, you say you want to make a difference, but are you really doing what's required? Are you really putting in the time like you were putting in the time before? You know, and it's like, do you really want it? Like, if when I'm looking for love, when I'm looking for that person, I put in the work to the point that I get frustrated when they don't meet me at the level that I'm trying to show them or that I'm trying to communicate with them. I get frustrated. The frustration is because you really want it with that person. That's the frustration. Do you know what I mean? So it's no longer me saying I want that person, it's me wanting that person. You understand? But when I'm just not putting in the work or making excuses or just talking and using kind words and throwing a hell of a lot of adjectives and cute stuff and what I would and what I would and what I would's, rather than trying to actually do it, it's just kind words, man. It's kind words, and I don't blame them for losing interest after a while. You know, people like action. Whether you're spontaneous or whether you're timid, whatever, you know deep down inside you want someone to show you what time it is. Like, are you just talking, or are you for real? You know, I mean, what are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to get in trouble? How far are you prepared to get in trouble? Well, let me share the trouble with you, do you know what I mean? So we both go down for it. You know what I mean? It's extreme, but you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, that's what's up, man. It's not impossible to try and date in this period. It's not. It just comes down to, you know, how bothered you are about what you say you want to do, and then just using what you have around you to make it pop. Do you know what I mean? You don't need flamboyant dinners or fancy shit. Like, sometimes this is the perfect time to just, if you're the kind of person who likes taking walks in the park, this is the perfect time for that walk in the park moment with somebody, and probably teach them about walking in the park. You know, just think about that. Do you know what I mean? Before you write it off completely. That's all I'm saying. Just think about that before you write it off. Yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment in the box below. I ain't telling you guys to break rules. I ain't telling you guys to get arrested. I'm just telling you what's possible if you really think about it. Like I always say, live your life one step, one rep at a time. Think strong, be strong. And remember, man, impossible is nothing. Peace.